Right, I assume we're EVAing again.
It's pretty...
Yep. Hopefully for the last time. And hopefully I've got everything that I need. If I don't, then I'll need to load and go back to the appendix. Okay, that takes us back to our ship. That's easy enough. That's much easier than whatever it was that I just dealt with. Okay, I can go left, but apparently that leads nowhere. Can I go right? Oh, Jesus Christ. How do I get off there? Can I put my helmets on here? No, there's no need. There's no need. Alright, I need to use my brain. Stella has a brain. I do not.
This is the meninges. It's a 3-layer cover for the brain. Check out the cool blood vessels. It's the old gray matter itself, our friend, the brain. At least some of us are familiar with it. I don't remember seeing you at the meetings. For some reason, you're drawing a complete blank on information regarding the brain.
The only thing I know about the brain is the blood-brain barrier, which keeps a lot of nasty things out. But unfortunately, it means that if you get a brain infection, it's very hard to get some good things in. Yeah, that exit's going to take me back to where I came from. How do I get down from here?
That's an... It's the... This... It hurts your eye. This is...
I'm trying to go left, and it's scrolling left. But it's not taking me down there. If I click down here, nothing happens. Roger just moves above and then stops. What about down here? No, he's not going around. How do I get down there?
Boy, that's an as it would.
Do I need to play pole vault again, or... Oh.
You slice away with the nail, and amazingly enough, manage to cut a slice in the barrier.
If that was the BBB, then that is a serious issue.
This is the meninges. It's a 3-layer cover for the brain. Check out the cool blood vessels.
So if you get any infections in future Stella, I am to blame. Also, yeah, we still got the nail. It's still very, very red. Ah, missed that. I missed it. I'm loading. So we just hack open a hole with that nail?
That's an...
More proof that nails are deadly? What did you have to say about this edge, Roger?
Yikes. How am I supposed to jump across this one?
I mean, you can try, but maybe we need to use this as a pole vault, maybe?
It would... It would... As cool... It would... As...
I mean, you've done it once before. We got 3 points for that.
This is... It's the old... For some...
Man, that was close.
This is...
Confusing. We got 3 points for jumping that. Whoa.
Holy captain's log, Batman. There are a few more of those nanites here. How am I going to handle this one?
And they look much larger and much meaner than the ones we store in the stomach.
Nice mood lighting. A mine shaft has been built by the nanites for access to the inner sanctuary of Stellar's brain.
That looks like an incredibly high-tech mine shaft for what they're doing.
Nanites are there, and they look real pissy. Nanites are... Walk on up there if you want to touch them.
Yeah, sure. Let me just make another save. I can't help but feel I did something wrong with that jump. Oh!
So close, and yet so far away. How embarrassing to get wasted by the laurel and hardy of nanites.
Okay, what do we do about these two? Do we throw rocks at them?
I don't think I can hit them from here.
What about if we get a little bit closer?
I don't think I can hit them from here.
Alright, we're not hitting them with those.
So close, and... Your words are so Not... It feels slightly gritty.
Alright, so what do we do about these two? We can't hit them with these.
I don't think I can hit them from here.
The fact that Roger has dialogue for that is promising.
That's an...
What do we do?
As cool. Boy. This.
I suppose we can go above them, maybe? That's going to involve me going back, which is... Damn, you can get that close for a run-up. Yeah, can I fall down here? I'm trying to fall down, but Roger's not. Yeah, I couldn't go left up here. That was either a dead end, or it just wasn't created as traversable space. And also, now that I'm down here, I don't appear to be able to get back up. Now, if that's the case, then if these dudes kill me, if I click try again, it puts me right next to them. So that means that I should be able to do this without actually using the items that I've got, because otherwise I'm in a fast state.
Boy, it has X.
What does that mean? That would mean that it's one of the items, maybe, if I'm using an item, that I did not find in the appendix.
Boy, as...
What if I set the car alarm off?
I probably don't need to set the alarm.
Okay, we can't distract him with that.
Boy, it would... Act... That's an... It's the old... For some reason... Come on. Come on. By now you should know to take it easy on the merchandise. Come on. Your words... Hey, don't... You get a jump on... Your word... Hey, don't... You actually don't need to wear your helmet while traipsing around inside Stellar. It would appear... Excellent... Boy, as...
It would be, because you can get here without the candy.
I don't think I can hit them from here.
Is this really just trying to inch forward to find the right spot? Is that all this is?
I don't
think this is it. It can't be it, surely.
So close, and...
We can't move over here, maybe, to throw them from here.
I don't think I can hit them from here.
Alright, can I distract them somehow?
Boy, it... Excellent get.
Okay, can I go down here? I'm not going to click anything, I'm just going to wait. Not touching anything.
And you were so close, too.
I can go down there. It just gets me killed.
It's the... For some...
Okay. I think I'm very close to the end of the game because I know there's 500 points, and at this point, I'm inclined to look at the walkthrough because I've had enough. I'm enjoying myself, but I don't see the solution to this one.
Nothing... Careful.
I'm getting a unique response for using the gallstones on these guys.
As cool as it...
But again, that assumes that I picked them up on the way from the intestine.
I don't think I can hit them from here.
So that means I've either missed something, or
Excellent.
I don't know what the solution is, full stop.
That's an...
Can I do anything with this mood light, perhaps?
It's a paperclip from Stellar's appendix.
It looks like a steel bar. It really does.
It probably... Excellent. It would appear...
Alright, taking a brief look at the walkthrough. Yeah, that sucks. That really, really sucks. We need to go, quote-unquote, to the back of the screen here.
So close.
Like somewhere around here.
I don't think I...
Yeah, look at that. That, my friends, is a load of rubbish.
You chuck a gallstone at one of the robots, causing it to think the other one did it.
That doesn't even make sense. You're telling me you can't hit from here, but you can hit from further distance away. Oh, not good. Not good.
So close, and yet... You chuck a gallstone at one of the robots, causing it to think the other one did it.
Alright, let me throw a gallstone at the other one.
You chuck another gallstone, this time at the other robot, who also thinks the other one did it. That was quite effective. That was very impressive, Roger. I'll bet that's not something you hear every decade.
Very convenient. Yeah, the clue that I read was move to the back of the screen. That was enough to get that done. It doesn't even look... I'll stop whinging. I'm here to have fun, damn it.
Nice mood lighting. Don't touch that. We don't know where you've been.
Can I do anything with the nanites?
Walk on up there if you want to touch them. The self-deactivated nanites now pose no threat. The self... Walk on... Walk on... It's... Walk on... It...
I don't think I'm going to get anything there. Okay.
It's an elevator built by the nanites to help gain access to the interior of the brain. Yuck! A mine shaft...
A mine shaft, an elevator. Either way, it's impressive. Oh, what the fuck?
It's a recently constructed shaft between the hemispheres of Stellar's brain. It's a recent... It's a re... It's a... It's a... It's a... It's a... This but...
So this is the motor control center.
It's a recent... It's a...
I can't do anything here. I can just stop to look at that and that's it.
But... It probably...
This sign says this is her pleasure center.
No comments.
This sign says that... This sign says... This sign... This...
They all say the same thing. Can I not move to the right?
You're...
I'd better never, ever touch that while I'm in here.
That's delightfully non-helpful.
To me, it looks like I can just go up and down until I reach a point where my feet become active again.
Interesting. The sign says this is Stellar's Cough Control Center.
Motor, cough, or pleasure, whatever.
Oh, this is her Choice of Men Center. It looks a little odd. I'd better...
Yeah, like so. The fuck?
This is strange looking. Used pieces of nanite hardware as well as some stuff that looks vaguely like mining equipment litter the area.
Thought it might have looked a little bit like a furnace, like coal, fire, whatever have you.
Your effort to move it is futile. This would be a challenge for you even if you were full size. A huge pile of debris is standing in front of what appears to be some sort of passage. Light pours through the opening. That's the elevator you rode down from the surface of her brain. Your effort to move...
It looks like there's a hole in that little machine there.
Boy, wouldn't it be cool if that really worked? A small opening between the brain wall and the debris pile allows a small amount of light to escape. It's too small for you to even fit your head in. Bet you've never heard that before. That's delight. Your effort.
I'm playing Space Quest, not Leisure Suit Larry.
Your effort. That's as it would act.
Right, we have a massive debris pile. What do I do about it? Do I inject it?
That's it. Boy, it would
Do I use the plank on it?
as it would have that.
Do I use the fish on it?
It probably as that.
Do I put the fish in the fish bowl?
Nothing happened. It would have it.
Alright, what else is
But
around
you-
here?
This is strange looking. You're
There's got to be something here that I'm missing. Can't go right. I can't fit in through that tiny gap. Is there something... I can't believe this would just be... I'll call it a joke. There's got to be something that I'm missing here. Like this here, for example. Can I really
I'd
not go
bet-
over to
I'd-
the right?
Interesting.
It feels you're ut.
Interesting. The sign says this is Stellar's Cough Control Center.
So is there something that I can do here, maybe?
X.
Like that. There we go.
A huge pile of debris is standing. A small opening between the brain wall and.
Ugh! Ah! Even in this suit, that hurts like a... Jeez. What's going on here? And what's with that big robot?
Sharpay?
Well, well, Mr. Wilco. I must confess to being impressed that you made it this far. You are either a very lucky man, or the classic case of how looks can be deceiving. From what I know of your history, I can't say that in this case looks are necessarily deceiving. On the other hand, I don't think luck accounts for it all either. There's definitely something different about you, Mr. Wilco. It's a pity, though. I'm afraid this is where the odds catch up with you, Roger. I do hope you don't mind me referring to you as Roger. I feel we can both be on a first-name basis now, since we will soon be sharing such intimate moments. My rebirth and your death. Not necessarily in that order. I'll attend to you in a moment. I have a few more little details to finish before I transfer my consciousness into this body. Enjoy it, Roger. It'll be among the very last of your memories. Oh, and by the way, escape attempts will prove to be futile. You will be incinerated if necessary.
Jeez, what a bit.
I'm sorry. What was that you were saying?
Me? I was saying, what a bite. Yeah, I had a little trouble with some parasites a while ago down in the digestive tract. That's all it was.
Sure it was. Yeah, it's going to be the last act for you, Roger, because this is the last game in the series. We're going to be incinerated, I assume by you, because there aren't any incineration areas in the brain. I hope.
It looks like a bundle of nerves with electrical current through them. It's a lovely pile of brain matter.
God, this place is so freaky.
Welcome to the cerebral cortex. It looks like someone's been mining brain matter. A conveyor moves freshly dug brain cells to the top of the pile.
Jesus.
It's a piece of mining equipment. She's been digging around in the cortex. It's a piece of... It wouldn't be...
Can I climb that?
Yeah. Guess she wasn't kidding about escape being a futile thing. Hey, you could hurt me doing that. Yeah. Hey!
That animation as he's jumping off there is actually really, really good.
Welcome to the... The robot's head swivels constantly to keep an electronic eye on you. Welcome to... It looks like that shovel's been busy.
Trying to get my eye on the drill.
That's quite a drill. Hopefully you're not having any feelings of inadequacy.
Jesus, game. Again, Space Quest, not Larry.
The sight of the claws mounted on the turret make you wish you were wearing a Depends undergarment. The sight of the claw...
Okay, so immediate thoughts are we may need to do something with this and or this source of electricity here. Maybe we can electrify the rod or something, if that doesn't kill us. I assume this is a final room, or very close to it. Yep. It's that simple? No.
Wow, that was actually a great idea. Go figure.
Yeah, I kicked her butt. Just look at me. MacGyver wishes he could be me. It was bound to happen. The never-ending battle between good and evil was once again waged, and once again, good has emerged victorious. Yes, and with me on its side, how could it lose? Yes, once again, I have struck a blow for good over evil. It was in a... Hey!
It's not over.
Ah! What? But I thought I took care of you.
Oh, freaky design.
Well, it appears you thought wrong now, doesn't it, Roger? Wilco, I haven't survived this long without taking precautions. The robot was just hardware. My mind still exists.
Oh, real wonderful. Ooh! Ah! Hey, watch those tentacles, lady. I thought that being partially embedded in the street on polysorbate was a strange feeling.
That was so long ago. Okay. We've got to be really close to the end now, surely. The fish? Yes!
Fish, that's brain food.
All right. She actually chowed down on that rancid fish.
It had a use.
I thought I'd never get rid of that fish.
It's not too late. It's not too late, Roger. You can still get it back. Alright, we just need to get out of here.
Nice shot.
Jesus Christ. That's disgusting.
Oh, there you are, Wilco.
We're out. And we haven't been killed and or fired.
Boy, Stellar, with all that's happened recently, I never would have imagined that we'd be standing here together.
It is a miracle, Roger. I was afraid that by the time you got my message, it would be too late. I was certain I was doomed. But you didn't let me down. What you did was incredibly brave, Roger, not to mention intensely risky. It took Dr. Bellows a lot of work to clean up after you and Sharpay. I must say, Roger, there's not a man in the universe who knows me inside the way you do.
It was a strange feeling, but I went in there all business. There wasn't a moment I wasn't thinking of your welfare.
Unlike the narrator.
Oh, give me a break. Let me put my boots on. It's getting deep in here.
Jesus.
Cheese it, pal, or I'll rip out your larynx and you won't be able to get a job doing bad voiceover work for Chinese action pictures.
What did you say, Roger?
That seems potentially racist.
I was just mumbling to myself. You know, Stellar, there's one thing I noticed while inside you I thought I might share.
And what's that, Roger?
The screw?
You eat like a goat. You really have to change your eating habits, Stellar. I saw some things in your digestive tract I wouldn't wish on Sludge Vohall. You really have to clean up your consumption act.
Yes, I know. Dr. Bellows said he was able to fix most everything done to me during Sharpay's invasion, as well as patching an ulcer that was playing
You
havoc
almost
with my
got through
stomach.
it.
He
Oh
told me
no.
the same things.
Most everything.
You might
Nah.
also try chewing. You had a hunk of Twinkloid wedged in your throat that would have gagged Linda Lovelace.
Okay, Roger, okay, I got the message. Let's change the subject, shall we? Ask me where I'm stationed next.
Why don't you just tell me?
Boy, some fun you are.
Sorry, I guess I'm a little grumpy. I had a real day. I had to clean the captain's log entry container. Then somebody got a nice buzz in 8 Rear and decided to take a wormhole ride in the Hollows suite. They hit a few wrong buttons, and the next thing I know, I'm cleaning Vergon Nebula sets and hors d'oeuvres off every wall and ceiling. Apparently, they truly did make the room spin. Boy, they spackled everything. Had to use the putty knife to chip loose some of the chunks of...
I don't think she wants to hear this, Roger.
Roger, I'm sorry you had a rough day, but can we please change the subject?
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I think you're gonna like your next assignment.
Really? What is it? Where is it?
Sorry, you're just gonna have to wait to find out.
I think that's it. The interface has disappeared, so I assume that is it.
As Roger and Stellar warp off into the nebula set, many questions remain. Will Roger and Stellar become an item? How will Beatrice Wankmeister react when she hears about this new friend in Roger's life? Will Roger's voice be a few octaves higher as a result? Would they dare to make another one of these things? Only time and money will tell.
I've been up to my lips in urinal pucks lately. I hope it's something different.
Are we getting more voiceover? No, that's it. Scott Murphy, so Mark Crow wasn't involved with this one.
Who wrote this crap? Oh, yeah, Scott. Yeah, well, yeah, then good work.
Don't know how much I can talk here. I've definitely got to go back and play this again because I didn't get all the points. But we're never going to know the answer to those questions because this was the last game. There wasn't a Space Quest 7. They started developing it, and it went nowhere. And as of 2023, however many years it is after 1995, almost 30 years, the series is officially dead.
Did you hear about the animator who killed himself? Yeah, he couldn't draw his own breath.
Ugh. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Alright, I'll let the credits play out. Stooge Fighter Code, why would you admit to that? Why would you ever admit to that? Or the animation, holy crap. Actually, the animation wasn't too bad. I'll let the credits play out, and I'll do some editing in post.
These, by the way, are the credits. They're called credits because, well, we can't afford to really pay anybody until more people buy the game. All these people worked on this dumb game?
Are we about to get Oz F4 again? Like we did on the 5th game?
Thank you, bye-bye. 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 That's it, bye-bye. No more, bye-bye. That's it, all finished, bye-bye. 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 Farewell. Farewell. Bye-bye, bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, this is it, the last time. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you for playing Space Quest 6. This is Gary Owens, signing off.
We got Oz F4 again. Oh, I don't believe that. Thank you yet again, game, for forcing me to frigging block out my username. Alright, as you can see, it is extremely late. I'll take a look at this tomorrow and do some editing in post. Alright, so, it is not tomorrow. It's actually 1 week later. I'm recording this audio immediately after finishing editing the Space Quest 6 videos, but I did record the video tomorrow, so what I'm doing now is I'm splicing the audio that I recorded today with the video footage that I recorded tomorrow, and also the video footage that I recorded throughout the main playthrough. Hopefully that makes sense, because I'm about to do some math which is probably not going to make sense. So, the post-game. You are not going to see a playthrough of this with 500 points, and that's for two reasons. Firstly, my game corrupted right near the end. As I got into Stella's body, I made a save, I tried to load it, and I'm at the point now where I can't actually load this game. And quite frankly, I don't want to play through this again because I've played through it enough. I've had my fun with this game. I'll talk more about that later, but I don't want to play through this again a third time just to try and get the 500 points. The second and far more important problem is you can't actually get 500 points in this game. You can see on the screen there, the reason you can't get 500 points is that according to some kind of official guide, I'm not sure what it is and I haven't looked terribly hard, but it is there. There are two actions in this game which are supposed to give you 3 points each, for a total of 6 points. However, when you're actually playing the game, those two actions only give you 2 points, for a total of 4 points. 6 subtract 4 is 2, so that means instead of being able to get 500 points, the maximum point value that you can actually get is 498. And if I was to play through perfectly and get everything right, and if my game didn't corrupt, I would be able to show you a 498 point run. But again, I don't really want to. I'm over it and I've played this enough, and editing this last part is going to be difficult enough, so yeah. On the main playthrough, I finished with 482 points, so that's pretty simple. 498 subtract 482 means that I am missing 16 points. Except it's not simple at all, and that's not correct. If you go back to video 3, you'll notice a glitch, and I'm putting the relevant video in here now. You'll notice here that as we swept up the Endo Droid and put him into the ice cube tray, our score switched to 110. Now, we died shortly after that. I went upstairs, he defrosted, he moided me, and I clicked try again, and it spawned me back down in the basement here at 110 points. Now, in the actual playthrough, I fiddled around a bit. I went upstairs to see if he would reconstitute himself, and he totally does. But what I ended up doing is sweeping him up again, putting him back in the ice cube tray, which is what you're supposed to do. And you can see there that my score switched to 113. And that is a bug. That should not have given me an additional 3 points there. I've not tested this, but I assume that if we just cycle through this many times, we could potentially get an indefinite score. Maybe it would loop when it hits 999 back to -1, I'm not sure, but I'm not particularly interested in testing that out. But that means that the calculation that I performed on the right hand side of the screen is not correct. I did not get 482 points. Well, I did get 482 points, but really I should have ended this game with 479 points, which means that I am missing 19 points in total. And fortunately, as I was doing my post-game recording, and oh boy, that was an ordeal. It's an ordeal because in the main playthrough, I built the homing beacon early and I pulled out the divalium crystal early, and that completely messed up all of my score tracking. You're not supposed to do that until later in the game, according to the guides, and yeah, trying to make the numbers add up along with this +3 and the -1 from the crystal and the -20 from the homing beacon, it was a nightmare. My post-game videos, I'm not putting them online, but it's basically just 6 hours of swearing. Fortunately though, I did manage to find and record where the 19 points are located, and I would like to show those to you now. So there are 16 points on Polysorbate 60. The first 5 are related to the Endo Droid again. What we can do with the ice cube tray here, after we've put the Endo Droid in there, is we can put it back into the freezer. I didn't see any feedback on actually putting him in the freezer, but that action is worth 5 points. And I assume that is simply to stop the Endo Droid from thawing out and moitering us before we can get it back to Blaine. Having said that though, in the main game, that wasn't necessary. I didn't do that, so I missed out on those 5 points.
Where's my 50 buckazoids?
There's another 5 points in Bootlicker, which involve interacting with ET. Multiple times. That there is worth 5 points, and honestly, I have no comments on that. Other than to say, we can gain these points at any time.
Hi there.
We can come back in here after visiting Delta Berxilon 5 and grab these points at that time. So, unlike all of the other points that I'm showing here, these ones are not particularly restricted, not until we get into Stella's body. There are 6 points in 2 blocks of 3 inside the apartments here, and I'm very happy to say that the 3DOA actually serves a purpose. To get 3 points, what we need to do is use the hand icon on this particular set of books.
There seems to be a small pile of CD-ROMs sitting here. Your search through the CDs reveals a bunch of typically boring multimedia magazines. A multimedia phone book. Too bad there aren't any phones around here.
Again, many times.
The Outpost Project Survival Guide. Successful People Managing Techniques by Carm Trebus. Funny, it's empty. MF-DOS for idiots, morons, and phoebes. Turing Xenon on 5 buckazoids a day. Discovering your inner maggot. How to become assigned to being a corporate creative genius without really trying. This might be worth checking out. It's a copy of Popular Tektronix. You should have paid attention the first time. This game's budget is way too small to allow me to list all those titles over again.
I can't say I like that design, honestly. It was bad enough with ET, but that is not something that you would find during normal gameplay.
It's a somewhat damaged CD-ROM disc.
At that point, we can insert the disc into the 3DOA. And we get a bunch of topics here. The first one is very relevant to our interests, I think.
This optical disc-based multimedia entertainment system has a slew. It's
From data recorder to homing beacon. Fast. Yes, you too can make a homing beacon from simple household goods. Chief among the devices you can use is the data recorder, which, with a few adjustments, sends out a powerful signal to potential rescuers who could be light years away. First, open your data recorder. Inside you'll find chips, IRK settings, and plates. If you correctly alter these settings, you'll soon be home by the fire with a cup of nog. Of course, any mistakes could result in a barbecue with you as the entree. But let's not worry about that. We'll describe the details in the next issue. Yeah, that is basically your cue to look at the manual and figure out how to create the homing beacon if you have not done so yet. And I didn't see this, but honestly, given the amount of items that I had and what I was thinking and where my brain was at the time, that pretty much seemed like the only solution to get off the terrace. So that's not critical that you find that. And yeah, finding the disc inside the books is worth 3 points, and putting it inside the 3DOA is worth another 3 points. You don't need to specifically look at the homing beacon advice, but just putting the disc in there is enough for the points. I'm not going to read out the remaining 4 topics there. You can take a look at them if you like. That last one, oh boy. And finally, the remaining 3 points are in cyberspace, and honestly, I do like this one. Unlike all of the other ones that have been displayed so far, I do like these 3 points. As we've left the Windows 3.1 area and are heading back through this maze, we can take a shortcut. You see that bridge there? We can just walk over there and die, but it turns out there is actually another way over the bridge, and it involves using the plank that we picked up outside the office. That was an optional item. I realized that as I was making my way through Stella, but we can use it here to make a bridge.
You smartly drop the board in place, spanning the gap between the two bridge sections.
Putting it down there is worth 3 points, and then we can just walk over there and exit cyberspace, just like that. And all of that, 5 for the ice cube tray, 5 for ET, 3 to find a CD, 3 to use the CD, and 3 to use the board, that all adds up to 19 points, which gives us our total of 498 out of 500. That is basically everything I think that we can glean from this game. So, quick final thoughts on Space Quest 6. I know there was a lot of whinging throughout this playthrough, and there's definitely some things that I did not like, but I think this is a worthy entry to the Space Quest series. It is, however, one of the weaker entries, and I think that is attributed to 2 things in particular. Firstly, some of the puzzle solutions. They seemed very, very obscure, especially the first one involving the Endodroid and the pipes behind the counter. That was incredibly obscure, and even as I was working my way through that solution, I couldn't help but feel that it wasn't presented correctly. Something like, if the hookah hose is hooked up to the conduit on the left, but you've then got nitro flowing from upstairs, should that not be freezing all of the patrons? If I'd seen that happen, then I reckon I would have been able to maybe get to the solution without looking at the walkthrough for a 5th or 6th time. But there's way too much pixel hunting involved. You've got to look at this valve, you've then got to play with the pipe underneath the valve, which is absolute insanity, and then you've got that tiny little hole upstairs, and it's too much. It's just way too much to figure out with my dumb lizard brain. Having said that, however, all of the previous games did have their fair share of dumb puzzles, but having said that, I was able to get through them. But having said that, I did play these games as a kid, and yeah, a lot of those puzzle solutions are still locked in my head somewhere. I remembered some of them, I remembered others after thinking about them for a bit. I don't think there was anything truly there which I needed to figure out from scratch. So maybe this is just me looking at an adventure game blind and not being smart enough to figure it out and searching for help. Maybe it's that. I don't know. The other thing I think which is really holding this game back is how buggy it seemed in places. And I'm not sure whether to blame the game for this or to blame ScumVM. I am playing this in 2023, which is almost 30 years after it came out, effectively using an emulator. And what I was finding is that if there are moving sprites on the screen, such as these dudes in Polysorbate 60 or in the sickbay, what I was finding is that moving around was weird. Sometimes if they're moving around and I also try moving, something weird happens and it just does not work properly. And I don't know whether that's Space Quest 6 or ScumVM causing that. We also had that scene in the shuttle bay entrance where, yeah, you can see what's happening on screen here. Something is clearly not right. And I'm more inclined to think it is ScumVM at this point. There's other stuff as well though. The replicators. What the hell was up with the replicators? I haven't done a lot of research on this, but I did look online. I typed in SQ6 replicators, and it did suggest that there was a demo for this game which is completely set outside of the events of what we just witnessed in Space Quest 6. And in that demo, the replicators are involved and they actually work. But it's crazy. You've got this database with all of these codes listed here. You've also got the lasagna code inside the shuttle, which is set when you come in there. It's kind of like these puzzles were removed at the last moment, and I don't think they would have done this deliberately, simply because it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You see objects in games, you want to interact with them, you want to solve puzzles with them. You don't want this stuff just lying around doing nothing, basically. It makes very little sense. So yeah, I think what happened is, to use the colloquialism, this game came in hot, and some of the puzzles were removed at the very last moments. And the result is a somewhat disjointed experience. It is still enjoyable. I can say that I had a good time playing this, but it's very, very disjointed in places. And yeah, I'm very glad that the narrator and the voice acting is back, because if I tried reading, I don't know, 20% of that stuff, I would have lost my voice again. But honestly, some of that stuff is very, very borderline. I do not agree with many of the things that the narrator said. But that is the nature of humor, I suppose. This game was made in the 90s and it really shows. Alright, that is the entirety of the Space Quest series, played and completed. There is no more. They did start development on Space Quest 7. I believe it was going to be called Return to Roman Numerals, because this one is Space Quest 6 instead of Space Quest VI. Don't know why they did that. But I think about a year or two in development, it sort of fell over. Sierra fell over in general, and yeah, it never came back. And it is a little bit upsetting because I do wish that the series hadn't ended here. Clearly there's a sort of cliffhanger involving Stella and Beatrice and Roger, but we will never find out what happened. But unfortunately, that just happens sometimes, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to move on and play some other stuff instead. Alright, I am done. I really hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed struggling through this in places. My name is Random Attribute. Thank you for watching, and I will be back with something new, or maybe something old, very soon. See you then.